Hello and welcome everyone. So in today's lecture we will be dealing with understanding trigonometry. Okay. So this is the topic which is kept for options by most of the students studying in say intermediate or secondary grade because of its complexity. It seems complex, but we will be making more and more easier because we will be dealing with the physical significance of trigonometry. Okay. So what is the application of trigonometry, where it is used? It has a vast variety of applications. It is used in architecture, civil, structural designing, in the mechanical sector, in each and every technical sector. The whole calculus is based on trigonometry. Okay, so understand this thing. This is the physical significance. So we'll be making this topic as simpler as possible. Okay, we'll be deriving most of the fundamental identities and formulas. Okay, so what exactly is trigonometry? So on a very basic level, how can you define trigonometry as very primitive? What is the primitive definition of trigonometry? So trigonometry is nothing but it is a, you can say, a branch of mathematics which deals with sides, angles, and say unknown distances. You can calculate some unknown distances. Okay, by some specific ratios, by means of some specific ratios, only and only of a right angle triangle. Right angle triangle. Okay, the triangle should be the triangle should contain at least one angle at 90 degree. Are you following it? Okay. Hmm? So this is a very primitive definition. This is not the exact definition, guys. This is a very primitive definition just to understand what exactly what exactly is inside trigonometry. It gives the relation between sides, angles, and some unknown distances of a right angle triangle. Okay, getting it. So to go into depth, what we can do. Trigonometry is defined by six ratios. Okay, to define the relation between sides, angles, and unknown distances, there are six ratios, out of which two are fundamental ratios. The first one is sine ratio. Second is cosine ratio. Cosine ratio. Okay, these two are fundamental ratios, out of which these two are fundamental ratios, and the remaining four are dependent on these two ratios. Means what? If you know these two ratios, you can derive the rest four ratios. Are you following me? The third one is tangent ratio. Tangent ratio. Okay. Next one is cosecant ratio. Cosecant ratio. Next is secant ratio, and the last one is cotangent ratio. What do you mean by ratio? Ratio is nothing but numerator and denominator will be having same unit. Okay, getting it? That is meant as ratio. Understand this thing. Okay, so these are the some common names of which you can in sine ratio we call it as sine, cosine we call it as cos. What we try to do? We try to merge the two letters. So cosine is called as cos, tangent is called as tan, cosecant is called as cosec, and secant is called as sec, cotangent is called as cot. Okay, understand this thing. Okay, in your textbook you may, or in your any book you refer, you may not hear this kind of name directly. Okay, why? Because they are taking the short form out of it. This is sine ratio, this is cos ratio, this is tan ratio, this is cosec, this is sec, and this is cot. Okay, are you following it? Yes, so I hope you have understood this. So now we will see these ratios one by one. Okay, getting it? This is very basic stuff, guys. So why I am trying to go into the basic, because during examination or whenever you come across the numericals of trigonometry, you don't understand which side to look up to. Okay, so what we will try to do, we will try to draw a right angle triangle like this. Okay, so this is say 90 degree, this angle is theta. Theta is nothing but a Greek letter. You can take any letter, a b c d or any of the Greek letters. So this a b and c. Okay, this side is a b c. What is the name of triangle abc, and this is the angle theta. Okay, so there are two terms, guys. There are two terms. One is hypotenuse, that you are very much aware of. What do you mean by hypotenuse? Side opposite to 90 degrees, so this will be hypotenuse. And next is base. Okay, What do you mean by base? I will tell you just in a minute. Okay. So to understand which angle to consider, we need to first specify this theta. Okay. So this theta is angle C is nothing but unknown angle theta. Okay. So if you are at C, for example, say I extend this surface and you are standing at C. Okay, you are standing at C. So on which surface you are standing? You are standing on the base. Understand this. So on this surface you are standing. So how to derive each and every equation? I'll just simplify the topic. So sine ratio, sine theta means what? This angle. So sine angle. So sine theta is nothing but opposite side upon hypotenuse. Are you following it? So what is the opposite side here? See, what is the opposite side here? For example, this is you. You are standing here. Theta is this. Means you are looking in this direction. So here the opposite side is AB. Are you following it? The opposite side is AB. So this is AB. Okay. Opposite side will be what? AB. And what is the hypotenuse? Side opposite to 90 degree? AB upon AC. Okay, so what is this? This is also side, this is also side. So this is the ratio. Ratio is always unitless quantity. Are you following it? So this is nothing but this is defined as sine theta, opposite side upon hypotenuse. So how to recognize the opposite side? See guys, this is very basic. You may have seen this is very simpler manner, but during examination you may forget. So that's why I am keeping things as simple as possible. Okay, so I hope you understood this is sine ratio, opposite upon hypotenuse. Next is cosine ratio, or you can say cos theta, cosine theta. Okay, cos theta is nothing but adjacent side is also known as base. Are you following it? Okay, whole divided by hypotenuse. Okay, so here what will be the adjacent side or what will be the base? The base means the surface we are standing on. On which surface you are standing? That is BC. Okay, getting it? So that will be BC upon what will be the hypotenuse? Hypotenuse will be AC. Are you following it now? Okay, so this is nothing but cos theta. Okay, I hope you are getting the concept. Next will be tan theta. Tan theta is also defined as ratio of sin theta by cos theta. Okay, means what you can say, opposite side upon hypotenuse whole divided by base, or you can say base upon hypotenuse. So hypotenuse gets cancelled. So opposite side upon base is nothing but tan theta. Means what you can say, what is the opposite side here? AB whole divided by BC. What is the base? BC. Base means what? The surface on which you are standing. Okay. So we have to keep things in mind in this way. Where is the base and where I am standing? For example, if I shift theta over here, if I shift this theta from angle C to angle A, the ratios will be changed. The hypotenuse will remain same. The base will be changed. Why? Because this is the surface you will be standing upon. Okay. Getting it? So that's why, to avoid confusion, I am telling you this simple technique. Okay. So this is tan theta, that is opposite side upon base. We have also derived it. Okay. So the remaining three ratios, guys, are also known as reciprocal ratios. Okay. Remaining three ratios are known as reciprocal ratios. I am not showing that because it's very simple. We need to divide. What we need to do? We need to divide. Take the reciprocal of the ratio. 1 upon sin theta will become a new ratio. 1 upon cos theta will become a new ratio. When 1 upon tan theta will become another ratio. Are you following it? Yes. I hope you are getting this. Okay, so another three ratios, if you can do by yourself, you will get more and more confidence. Okay, getting it? So these were the basic definition. These were the basic definition of the trigonometric ratios. Okay, now we will go into the main complex part. Okay, what is the main complex part? This is known as fundamental identities. fundamental identities. So at 10th, or if you are in 10th or 12th, or you may be performing some engineering, you will be dealing with this stuff. What do you mean by fundamental identities? There are three fundamental identities. Okay, I know each and everyone might be compelled to by heart that. Okay, but no need to mug up. Okay, so we'll prove by graphical method what do you mean by fundamental identities, how they are derived, and each and every function, each and every function, each and every expression of trigonometric formulas are derived, are based on these fundamental identities. Okay, these fundamental identities are very much important when you try to derive the formula for this addition formula, subtraction formula, factorization, defactorization, allied angles. Okay, in that stuff, these fundamental identities are very much important. Okay, so what are these fundamental identities and how we are going to derive it, we'll just see. Okay, so for that, what we need to do, we need to draw a graph, simple graph. Okay, so this is say x-axis. Okay, and this is y-axis. This is x-axis and y-axis. What I am trying to do, I am trying to locate a point. Say this is a point. So what are the coordinates of this point? X comma y, right? Okay, so I am trying to, what I am trying to do, I am trying to join this line like this. Okay, I am trying to join this line, and the length of this line is say r. Okay, so length of this line is r, and what are its coordinates? Its coordinates is, what are these coordinates? These coordinates are x comma y. Are you following it? Okay, means, for example, if I draw up a perpendicular like this, if I draw up a perpendicular, okay, what will be this distance? This distance will be y, right? And this distance will be this distance will be x. Okay, this distance will be x, and this angle, if I am dropping perpendicular, right? So this angle will be 90 degree angle. Okay, so I am getting a right angle triangle. Are you following it? What I am getting? I am getting a right angle triangle. Okay, getting it? So in a right angle triangle, you can use Pythagoras formula, right? You can use Pythagoras formula. What do you mean? You know Pythagoras formula very well. Hypotenuse square is summation of, hypotenuse square is the summation of the other two sides, right? Means what can I say? X square plus y square is nothing but is equal to r square. Can I say like this? Yes, due to, by the use of Pythagoras theorem, because r is nothing but what? R is the hypotenuse, the longest side. Okay, so what I will be trying to do, I will be dividing this whole equation by r square. Okay, if I divide this whole equation by r square, what I will get? X square by r square. Okay, plus y square by r square. Okay, is equal to r square upon r square will be 1. Yes, are you following it? R square by r square will be 1. So that will be equal to, what is x by r? X is nothing but base. Yes, and r is nothing but hypotenuse. So base upon hypotenuse will form, say if it is making angle theta, if this is making angle theta, just tell me base upon hypotenuse, what is the ratio? Base upon hypotenuse is the ratio of cos theta. Say cos theta, but both of them are having square, so I can write this cos square theta. Are you following it? Yes, I can write this as cos square theta. Okay, now this y upon r, this is y and this is r. So tell me y upon r, y is which side? Opposite side. See here, y is opposite side and r is again hypotenuse. Okay, so y upon r, here look here, plus sign, so I can continue here with plus sign. Y upon r is nothing but sin theta. I am writing this sin theta because it's opposite upon hypotenuse. Okay, so y square upon r square, so here is square, I can also square here, sin square theta, that is equal to 1. So I am able to derive first fundamental identity. I can write it at 1. Are you following it? Okay, so we have successfully deriving the first fundamental identity. Okay, so this is the method to derive the fundamental identity. So I hope you understood this graph. So what we will try to do, we will try to derive the other two properties. Okay, so I am writing this cos square theta plus sine square theta is equal to 1. So this is equation number 1. Okay, getting it? So this is the first fundamental identity we have derived with the help of the graph. Graphically we have derived. Okay, now if I divide the whole equation by the whole equation by say sine square theta. If I divide the whole equation by sine square theta, what will happen? Cos square theta upon sine square theta plus sine square theta upon sine square theta will be 1 and 1 by sine square theta. Are you following it? Then what will be our product? Cos upon sine is, you know that it is cot theta. Okay, it is cot theta. So square sine will continue over here. So cot square theta plus 1 is equal to 1 upon sine square theta. What is 1 upon sine theta? Is cosec theta. So square will become cosec square theta. So this is another fundamental identity that we have derived. Are you following it? Okay, guys, are you getting it? So this is the second fundamental identity that we have derived. Next, now if we divide the same equation, divide by cos square theta. If we divide the whole equation by cos square theta, what will be the result? Cos square theta upon cos square theta, answer will be 1. Sin square theta upon cos square theta will be tan square theta, and 1 upon cos square theta will be sec square theta. Are you following it? This is the third fundamental identity. Okay. So understand, guys, these are the three fundamental identities. No need to mug it up. Okay. So if you are in intermediate or secondary grade, most of your numericals will be based on these three fundamental identities. If you are in secondary grade, say 10 plus 2, then you need to go through some more formulas of addition, subtraction, defactorization, triple angle formula. Okay, getting it? So understand, the ratio of 1 by sin theta is nothing but cosec theta. Okay, 1 by cos theta is nothing but sec theta, and cos theta upon sin theta is nothing but cot theta, or you can also say as 1 upon tan theta. Okay, so these are some shortcuts that you need to understand. Okay, once you do reciprocal of each other, you will be able to understand it. Okay, getting it? So it's fairly easy. For just what you need to do, you need to go through each and every derivation. Okay, go through a derivation means what? There is no need to mug up each and every equation. Okay, for example, say there is a sector of application. There is a sector of application numericals. Okay, application numericals of trigonometry. So these students find this very say complicated. I'll be dealing with this topic in the next lecture. So applications of numericals, how to deal with the numericals. What students try to do, they try to mug up the formula and try to solve the numericals. That's not the case. You need to understand the basics. Okay, getting it? So till secondary grade you will be getting much more simpler numericals. Okay, unless and until you apply calculus in it, you will be getting much more simpler numericals in trigonometry. That's not an issue. Okay, so there is two basic terms, that is angle of elevation and angle of depression. What do you mean by angle of elevation and angle of depression? Okay, angle of elevation and angle of depression. What do you mean by that? Okay, we'll see it one by one. Okay, before ending the lecture, we will see it one by one, so that each and every basics of yours is covered. Okay, for example, what do you mean by angle of elevation? Angle of elevation. So once you say elevation means what? You are going upwards. Okay, angle of elevation. For example, if any numerical says you have to find the angle of elevation, means what? you have to find the angle which is upwards. For example, say if your this is you on the base, okay, always keep yourself at the base, you always keep yourself at the angle where the angle is placed, okay. If there is angle of elevation, what you need to do, if there is angle of elevation, what you need to do, you need to see upwards, you have to raise your neck, so the angle will become like this. So this is known as angle of elevation. Look at the sky. If someone says look at the sky, what you will do? Will you look down? No, you look upwards. This is known as angle of elevation. From the base you are looking upwards, okay. Similarly, what you mean by angle of depression? What do you mean by angle of depression? Depression means what? If you are standing on the base and you are looking, downward, okay. See, this horizontal base is remaining constant, but the angle is changed. So this theta, if it is going downwards, this is known as angle of depression. For example, if you are depressed, okay, if you are depressed, what happens? You put your head down, right? Getting it? So this is known as angle of depression. So understand, whenever there is angle of depression or angle of elevation, you need to develop the triangle. Okay, in numerical you need to develop triangle if it is not provided, okay. So if it is given that angle of depression is so much and so degrees, okay, with respect to horizontal, okay, so at that time angle of depression is always in downward direction. So if it is in downward direction, you can easily form triangles, and applying the ratios you can easily solve the numerical. Are you following it? Students studying in intermediate and secondary grade, it's very important for you, okay, such small things, okay. So are you following it? So I hope you have understood the fundamental identities. So there are some much more basics related to it. Very important is allied angle. What do you mean by allied angle? Okay, allied angles are much more important. We will be dealing this in next lecture. What do you mean by allied angle? How to form an allied angle? Okay, students, try to mug up this concept, allied angle. If you try to mug up this concept, you will be making a blunder mistake, okay. You will skip the topic of trigonometry then, okay. So no need to mug it up. In next lecture we will be definitely dealing with this allied angle, okay. I hope you have got the basics of trigonometry, okay. If you have any comment, any doubt, you can just put your doubt in the comment box, okay. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.